is done. It is about 4:45 o'clock. I'm gonna have to go out and make dinner in just a little bit. Work was super crazy, insane busy, so I did not get a lot of knitting done, but I did have like 3 conference calls, so at least I got some conference call knitting done. And I am into the brioche section for day 12. Yes, yesterday's. So with any luck, I will get yesterday's knitting done tonight, and then I'll still only be a day behind. Oh, my poor wrap. It's okay. It's okay. I'll catch up next week. I have a cardiologist appointment next week, so I'll have lots of knitting time in the doctor's office. Yeah, so I did manage to get some of my shortbread cookies done. I'm not sure if I will have the energy to do the chocolate chip cookie ones or not. We'll see. I am also making burritos for dinner tonight. Homemade refried beans with taco meat and cheese and sour cream and all the things. So I've been cooking the beans all day. They appear to be almost done. I'm going to go take the emulsion blender to them and then cook the meat, and then we will be able to have our burritos. The rest is just assembly, and you assemble yourself in the Stover household. Yeah, so nearly there. Nearly to the end of the day. Today was also laundry day, which I did not get my laundry done. I'm slack-a-lackin'. It was just a really hard, busy day. Even my breaks were super busy. Yeah. Oh. But I will check in with you later tonight when I get some more knitting done, perhaps, and we'll go over all the things. Happy Vlogmas! Hello, welcome back. Welcome to day 13 of Vlogmas. We have officially met the halfway point of Vlogmas, and I think it's time that I don't need to do like the formal introduction. I hope, I don't know. If it's your first time joining, welcome, and if you've been here a while, welcome. It has been quite a day, so I'm going to dive right in. We will start off with the mugs. So this is a very non-holiday, very not fancy mug. It's a Waffle House coffee mug. But I love the old, like the really sturdy, hard diner mugs. They keep a good hot cup of coffee, and the coffee doesn't get cold before you finish it. So they're great mugs. I have a couple of them. This one happens to come from the Waffle House. I believe my husband got me this when he went to Atlanta, Georgia to visit with his brother before his brother passed away. And he got this at a Waffle House that he went to breakfast at. So I think that's where it came from. I'm not sure, but it's one of my favorites. I have a couple diner mugs like this and I just love them. Tonight I am drinking seltzer water because I am extremely parched. I really thought about tea, but I just needed some good hydration. So there we are. Advents. So I did not get a lot of work done on my Advents. Somehow I've turned into a cooking channel. I don't know how that happened, but I've been in the kitchen more than I've done any knitting. I don't know what happened. But this is my progress on, this pattern is the Quest by Rye Flower Knits, and it is getting there. It is getting quite long. We are halfway there, so I can expect this to double. I'm not quite halfway there yet. This is the right side. And I am in the brioche section of day 12. So I am going to be a little more than a day behind. I don't think I'm going to have it in me to finish much of this tonight. Luckily, the movie tonight is Die Hard, so that should be a movie that will help perhaps keep me awake. I don't know. I'm so exhausted. I could probably even sleep through Die Hard explosions at this point. I forgot to talk about last night's movie. Last night's movie was Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which is a classic claymation. No, it's not really claymation, is it? It's animated, like the I forget what they stop motion animation. And it's one of my favorites. Just one of those classic holiday kids movies that we always watched around this time of year. So that was fun to watch last night, and I'm going to try to get through the Die Hard movie tonight. So also Advents, Julie's Advent, I had to move the top layer down to the bottom layer and the bottom layer to the top so that I could finish her Advent, and I am extremely excited to see what the second half brings. And I got some really cute stitch markers, a stitch marker from Robin, which is this cute little Santa Moon. And then I got another little jar of stitch markers from Julie. And it came with a beautiful red bubble, a sparkly crystal, and a jingly bell. One of the things I love that Julie does with her stitch markers is she also includes a double lobster clasp so that you can change the close loop. You can add, whoopsie, you can clip it to the smaller lobster clasp and then use the larger one and change it from a closed loop stitch marker to a hooked stitch marker. I think that's brilliant. Or if you are a crocheter and a knitter, you have the option to use it as crochet or knit. So yeah, just absolutely brilliant. It's very cute and nice addition to my collection. I also pulled from Jules' Stocking Holiday Chai Tea, one of my favorites. Love that. And her yarn was Blue Fiber Company. I couldn't show the label because the label just wasn't showing up, but I did add it in the description. Yeah, that's it for Advents. So we do have to roll for our next, part of the Advent knitting. All right, so I'm going to read first. Okay, so I am a druid. I need to roll a 6 or higher in order to win. And if I win, I stop the color from bleeding, and if I lose, I don't. That's all I can tell you. I'm sorry. So let's see which direction we go. I got a 12. A 12. So that is a win. And so we will go to that designated part of the pattern when we get to it. If we get to, I'm going to get to it. you ever just get down on yourself because you set a goal for yourself and then you don't achieve it? Or, you know, I set goals that are ridiculous and I know better. I know I'm not going to be able to achieve it, but I set the goal nonetheless. And then when I don't achieve it, it's just my own silly expectations on myself. But I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to look forward to next week, because next week I will have the whole week off. I will not be working. I'm working extra this week. And then I'll have next week off. So yeah, I know I'll get caught up next week, but it's just, I've got to push through and get there, right? So today I did a lot more baking, and cooking. My husband has been dying for my homemade burritos. So I went ahead and cooked the pinto beans all day long to make my own refried bean recipe. And we had burritos for dinner. And then I did make another batch of the chocolate chip cookies. So those are in the freezer and will be bagged up tomorrow. Hopefully I can hide them and nobody will remember that I have them. And then I made my shortbread cookie recipe. And what I love about this recipe is you can make it 3 ways. Once you make the dough, you can either sort of flatten it or press it into a pie tin. And the traditional shortbread recipe, pressing it into a pie tin, scoring it into like wedges, and then pricking it with a fork, and then bake that, and then you just cut the wedges, and that's like the traditional shortbread way of cooking it, I guess. Or you can chill it for an hour and then roll it out between 2 pieces of wax paper and cut them into like kind of like sugar cookie. You can use cookie cutters to make cookies that way. Or you can put it into a log, which is what I did, and then roll it in wax paper, or you can do saran wrap like I did, and then just put it in the refrigerator and wait until you need to cook it. It only has butter, sugar, vanilla, flour, and a little salt. The salt adds a little, it's kind of a buttery, creamy, salty, like you get that salty flavor. Yeah, it's just really, really good. It's a buttery, slight salt, sweet cookie. It's so yummy. And I did actually slice a few off and bake them. So here they are. And I'll see if I can get the crisp on the microphone for you. Here we go. Did you hear it? They are quite flaky. So I'll hold the plate up here. They are quite flaky, and oh my goodness, they're super good. That is so good. They are really good with a hot tea or a hot cocoa. They're great dipping dipping cookies. They're just super, super good. I love that recipe. And because there's no eggs, there's no milk, they can keep in the refrigerator for quite some time, and even in the freezer. You can even, after the logs, I like to put the logs in the refrigerator until they get firm, and then put them in the freezer. That way, if anything like falls on them or is set on them, they don't lose their shape. But they're super easy, super good. If you do freeze them, you just want to make sure to thaw the log for a few minutes before you try to cut into them, because they can be quite hard to cut if they're frozen solid. Anyhoozle, because they keep so long in the dough form, I can make them ahead, make the dough ahead in the refrigerator and not bake them until a few days before gift giving, and then put them in their tins. So beautiful recipe. I highly recommend it. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's everything I can say for tonight. I still need to go edit this video, watch Die Hard, do some knitting, and then take my carcass to bed. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I thank you for watching, and I hope to see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a good evening. Bye.